Hey there, welcome. I'm actually here. That's good. Versus the time I streamed without showing up. Can't believe that happened. I mean, I can, but anyway. Yeah, I thought I'd just take a look at what am I looking at here? Close that screen.
These are all the
I
tools
don't
I
need I don't need that. I just wanted to take a look at Misty because I know there's been some changes. Good afternoon. Is it Johan or Johan or was that? Uh, yeah, install and relaunch. What else we got here? Let's close that. Don't need that. Oh my God, what do I have open? All that stuff. Close that. Close that. Phew. Um, close that. Don't need Z open. Latest. Yeah, don't need that. Don't need that. Audio hijack. Don't need that. I guess that's about it. Okay. I don't need that. How to address a good night without your dictating an end to a conversation. I have no idea what you just said. So, good late evening. Dictating. I prefer dictating. But anyway, I knew that there was a change in Misty, and I wanted to take a look at it. So I figured, let me do a stream, and so we can all see together. Actually, I think I installed. Good to see you too, Russell Shore. Um, so this is a version that came out about a week ago. Create Ollama compatible models from Hugging Face. That's interesting. Search Ollama and pull any model, any tags. That's cool. Open router support. That's interesting. Hello, Anglesman, Finland. Uh, Folder level. Cool. One thing that's changed on my side, I I've subscribed or paid, I guess subscribed, ChatGPT for a year and a half. Initially, when I was at Infra and then Ollama, I was able to expense that, but I haven't been there for a while, and like, oh, that's $20 a month. That's 21.50 or whatever plus tax. Um, and this is kind of crazy. I kind of wanted to. No, no, no. I mean, I've been using. I mean, you can't ignore ChatGPT. So I mean, I've had it. I occasionally use it. Sometimes, if I'm often offline, and so it kind of, yeah. I mean, I'm glad I use Ollama most of the time, but sometimes you have to. And there were enough other features of kind of so there's another way of getting access to the same stuff if you use Raycast, and I'm using Raycast more and more. It would be nice to have the syncing back and forth, which you get when you subscribe to Raycast, and you end up getting all the features of ChatGPT, 4.0 and all that stuff inside of Raycast as well. And it's less money than what you would pay the main source. So that's something I just turned on the other day. Haven't really played around with it too much. Um, um, but no, I mean, my main focus is still Ollama. Hello, workflow in mind. Nice to see you. I mean, I can't see you other than a. What is your icon? Like a brain or something. What is Misty? So I did a video. I did a video. How long ago? Probably 2, 3 months ago. Is it that long? I don't know. Let's take a look at Studio. And if I go into content, this one yeah, I think this is the one. April 30th. April. Yeah, so a month and about 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago, I did a video about Misty, which is just a really nice, simple install to get access to Ollama. It does some really cool things. I mean, it's the easiest, sort of the easiest client to use, and it's got some really interesting features. I'm going to look at it to try to remind myself what the features are. When you do so many videos, it's hard to remember what you did before. But so I did my review, and the developers of Misty said, thanked me for my my point of view, and actually made a lot of changes in the next version or two after that video. And yeah, the most recent one was inclusion of RAG in Misty. I haven't taken a look at it, and yeah, I thought it'd be neat to take a look at. Any cool raycast tricks? I don't know them yet. I still, it's kind of a, it's not my first tool that I use. I still use Alfred for most things, but um, Raycast looks like it's got a lot of potential. For a long time, there were still way too many features in Alfred that they couldn't do yet, but they're gradually catching up. And I mean, Alfred, I've been using since the beginning, since Alfred first popped up. In fact, they have this extra level. I forget what they call it. I mean, I paid the whatever it was for that better level, which had more support for interesting things. I was the first person to give them money, which was I guess my claim to fame was um, either the first person or maybe the second person to actually plop down my credit card for that whatever it's called. What is it called? Power Pack, Mega Supporter. Yeah, the Power Pack. So because back when they were just testing out their payment platform, I just happened to be on, I don't know whether it was Slack or uh, maybe some sort of chat platform that was used then. Would have been Slack or, God, what was the other one? I feel like the folks that make Jira had one that was the more popular one, and then Slack came out. So it might have been on that platform or something else, and they said, "Well, I've just turned on credit card support. Can anyone try this out?" And I was the first. As far as I know, I was the first person to actually sign in and give them my credit card and buy the Mega Supporter Power Pack because I was really into Alfred at the time. I don't really have. I mean, I've since you know reinstalling on this machine, I haven't really installed most of those workflows that I used to use, and I've kind of forgotten what they were. Um, but I think that's still my main uh, uh, you know, clipboard manager is still Alfred because it's just so much nicer than a lot of the other tools I've seen. Um, let's see. Yeah, let's so I said I was going to do this. Let's take a look at what version of Misty I think I've actually installed it on Friday. So I guess I don't have that anymore. I should actually. I probably still have access to. I guess the OpenAI SDK or the API. You get billed separately from the OpenAI subscription, so maybe that'll still work. Um, yeah. Okay. So I am on the latest 0.9. So how do I? I think one of the things that they added was the ability to point to an external um, Ollama. Except I don't see that. Knowledge stacks. Okay. So I can add a knowledge stack. Let's say public. Actually, no, just all my Obsidian. Preferred embedding model. Nomic embed. Cool. And okay. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so I can link to an Obsidian vault to drag. Let's browse a vault. Where did I put this? I will put this in main vault. Perfect. Custom notes, YouTube links. Cool. I can just add different YouTube, I guess, chat, just individual. That's kind of weird. Individual videos. Oh, strange. Compose. What compose means in this? I guess it just means accept. Oh, he ignored me both times. Grr, grr, bye. Can you answer some of my questions? Sure. Give me a question. He didn't ask any questions. He left without asking anything. I don't know how I'm supposed to answer any questions if he doesn't ask. Is that right? I mean, I don't see a question here. Okay, so I guess it's embedding, and I don't know what this thing is. Oh, embedding model, nomic embed. Okay. Oh, and chunk size. Interesting. What's this? Oh, it's based on characters. I hate that. Oh, but we can change to sentence. And now, nice. So the size of each chunk. Cool. Let's go with medium, I guess. That's really nice. Mm, um, so wait, is S Fisher still on, or did he leave? I'm associating a gender. Ran out of tokens. Um, okay, so I think I've. Is that it? I'm not really sure what compose is. Okay, so I'll close this out. What's this thing up here? Knowledge stacks chunks console. failed to run query. Okay. What's this? Number of chunks to use. Generating. Okay, so how many, when it finds relevant results, search results, how many of those is it going to use? That's good. I can bump that up to, say, 5. Is this math website or anything LLM? Why use those? This versus those. Anything LLM starting to add agents. I don't know what math website is. Anything LLM is another client that is, I think I was clear in my review, that is butt ugly, horrible to use, but it's got some interesting ideas. Just it is very popular, though I don't understand why. No, I did not, but they're in my list. Okay. So, why this? I think, I mean, from what I looked at last time, Misty is just a very nice, simple UI for doing stuff with Ollama. It's not as powerful as, or at least it wasn't as powerful as Open WebUI. But I'd say now I haven't used many UIs because I haven't found anything to be as powerful as just using the CLI. So, but one of the things that people don't like about Misty is that, well, I think I did a review on anything LLM, so I think my thoughts are pretty clear. I'm not a fan of it, but the guys are working pretty hard on it. It's got some really, it's a very opinionated client. But one of the things that people don't like about Misty is that it does one of the things that the Ollama team originally intended, which is embedding Ollama inside of the executable so that you just install Misty and that's it. It installs everything and it just works. Yeah, the video is called something like most popular, but or I don't know. I said something about popularity. What did I say? Popular rag, but any good. Popular doesn't always mean great. Which it was a video that so many people have requested me look at, or yes, so many people have requested me look at the product, and I just every time I play around with it, it's like I don't love it. But everybody has different opinions about what's good, and so there's never going to be one product. I mean, like Uba Booga was definitely Uba Booga, and what else was there out before Ollama was created? Uba Booga existed, LM Studio existed, and if those hadn't existed, I don't think. I wonder if Ollama would have started, because it was the experience of those made the Ollama team think, well, these suck. There's got to be better ways. Let's build something. And so that's how, I think that's kind of the origin story of Ollama, was everything out there is kind of lame. I'm sure we can do something better. Roughly. That's not the public official story, but it's kind of behind the scenes. Agents, yeah, I'd love to see agents done well. Most use, any of the frameworks, which are just garbage and waste time, and yeah, I'm not a fan. But I need to take a look. Yeah, Fabric is on the request list. Explaining what quantization is in a nice way is something I want to do. Yeah, that was that a Chrome extension called Page Assist. Page Assist. I think it's on. Might be in here. What do I have? Page Assist. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So they added these knowledge stacks. Okay. So I think the knowledge stack is done. So if I do Kubernetes, should I see something pop up? Okay, yeah. Interesting. And if I change that to 11 chunks, cool. Oh, it even pulls from Excalibur. Interesting. Okay. And so now, how do I say, how, what is Kubernetes? Often abbreviated as kube control? No. Okay, so that's obviously, I don't seem to be using the knowledge stack. What's this little icon? There's no. Okay, I'm going to use Obsidian. Similarity, that's pretty cool. And let's use 10 chunks. And now ask the same question. What is Kubernetes? That's a little bit better. Okay. So that was like a lot of wrong things, but when I turned on the RAG, it it actually did a pretty good job. And then citations, cool. That's pretty nice. Um, okay. Yeah, so the extension was Page Assist, which from this one, which is really great. It, I mean, what's really cool is it's just in my where was it here? So if I open that, oh, do I not have Ollama running? Oh no, this was an experiment I was doing. 11434. Retry. And I mean, it's just this client that's just built into your browser, which is super, super cool. Um, and it's got some, a little bit of RAG built in by just you add documents, individual documents to it, and it does a really great job. But this Misty is nice in that I just pointed it to um, my Obsidian Vault, which has a lot of stuff about Kubernetes, and it came up with a really nice answer. Now I can't think of anything else that's in there. What do I talk about? It's been a while since I've actually used my Obsidian. Uh, mm, no. No. That's I don't know. What is this document about? So no. Yeah, I guess I didn't really say much about that topic. Anyway, I'll have to play around with that. But that's a really neat idea. Just point to your Obsidian Vault, and it just does it. That's great. What is this thing? Oh yeah, yeah. These are the yeah. This was one of the neat things about Misty. It's got these prompts already kind of created ahead of time, and you could just say, uh, I am a florist, and then I can add this little piece that gets injected into here. What flowers for my 86-year-old mother? Uh, yeah, okay. So I mean, I like that. Where did I find that? Oh, it was here. I don't love the fact that I don't know what all these icons are for. That was another problem with anything LLM. It's got all these super weird icons that it uses, um, and they don't make any sense, and he doesn't provide any uh, indication about what it is. You have to like click on the link and then go there. It's like, oh, okay, that's what that's for. Go back. So I didn't like that. Um, and all these icons are kind of hard to. Okay, that's the knowledge stack. Now, one thing I don't like, I can associate a tag with the entire vault, but my vault might have notes about many different topics, and I really want to be able to associate tags with perhaps folders in a vault. Folders containing I didn't I seem to remember seeing tags somewhere, but no, I don't. Okay, so I can associate tags overall with the vault or with the knowledge stack. I wish I could do tags based on, say, folders within the knowledge stack. What's this? Knowledge stack added to bookmarks. That's about. Um, add split chat. Oh yeah, so that was pretty cool. Being able to send the model to or send the question to multiple models at the same time. Ollama. And then I can say, what is a black hole? I don't think I'm loading multiple models at the same time on my Ollama. So it's going to answer one and then answer the other. Let's go ahead and do that. What is it? CTL set env Ollama max loaded models. Oops. Max loaded models is, I'll just say 2. Okay. And then I will stop Ollama and start Ollama. And now if I do the same thing, why is the sky blue? Okay, so although Ollama is supporting loading multiple models, but I don't know if I was saying So it's loaded the two models, but it's not allowing multiple. Well, there's two features here. There's max loaded, and then how many prompts are being processed at the same time. But even if you turn on those things, the client also has to support it, which I don't know if it does. So launch CTL. Oop. Set env Ollama num parallel, I think it is. Let's say num parallel 3. And then we kill Ollama. Start Ollama. Start Ollama. Okay, and now is this going to work? What is a black hole? No. Maybe I need to kill Misty. Oop. Don't like being killed midway. And split with by 3. Now what? Spelled incorrectly. Whole would be illegal. Let's try that right, spelled correctly. But it still didn't answer both at the same time. I wonder if there's another option for doing that. What's a sticky prompt? Edit. Okay. The thing I really did love about, let's get rid of this split chat. Hide that one. What I did love about Misty is the whole idea around splitting. So I can, that's that one? No, it's where you can create new threads, edit, message, branch off, or refine. So I can, no, that's not it. Maybe it was under here. Diverge from here. Okay, confirm. It has this really interesting but complex system for creating all sorts of weird threads, multi-threads, kind of like in GitHub, where you have multiple branches that keep going further and further apart from your original, what your original question is. But you still can go back to that original branch and continue that. Although it's a little bit, as you can see here, as I'm fumbling around, a bit confusing, because there's a lot you can do, and it's not visualized in a way that really makes sense. Local AI modules. Okay, so here's feature modules, models, and installed models. So I have all those things installed. If I add models, it is searching on Ollama, which is great. And so now I can say code. It shows me all the things on Ollama that have code in the name. And I can choose this codestrol, and I see all the different variants. So I want to stick with Q. Is there a V? I guess it's just V1. I guess it's all 22 billion parameter. And I can install straight from there. And that's really nice. Now, nice little, that is interesting that it's got the, okay, yeah. Nice little progress bar. Oh, that's just nice. What else is in here? Update service. Okay, so that's, oops. That's, what did I do? Is this it? No, that wasn't it. Where was I? Local AI modules, okay. Service health. Models path. I could have sworn I saw in their features the ability to point to a remote Ollama. And now I don't see that at all. Real-time parallel chatting with models. Search Ollama. Anybody else seeing what I'm not seeing? I could have sworn this was in here. Obsidian. But maybe I misunderstood. Because I only see their service, which is Ollama just renamed. Anyway, let's look at some of the questions. Okay. See the arrow near 5.3. I think that we're Quen2's agent framework looks very interesting, being able to use 1 million contexts on 128K window, apparently. Yeah, Quen2's agent framework. I saw, I think that's the one I saw that basically there wasn't, oh, agent framework. Really? Quen2 agent framework. Quen2 agent. Agent? Oh, Quen2. Let's just go Quen2. Hello, Quen2. Can you tell me more about this Quen2 agent framework? Is it building a vector DB locally, or does it use remote API? I think it is. You're talking about Misty. I think it is building. It's using some sort of vector database locally. One of the strengths and weaknesses of Misty is that you don't really get a lot of visibility to what it's doing inside. And so it's hard to see what they're using for the vector database. 0.8 knowledge stacks. I don't know if they say that in here. No, that's a implementation detail of what they're doing. But I assume that they're Doing this all locally. Could have sworn I saw remote Ollama in here. Oh, makes it possible to use endpoints from Ollama remote. OpenAI compatible providers. That, but I didn't see anywhere to set that. Chat. All options. That was the template. That's the knowledge tax. What's this thing? Oh, being able to send an image to it. Okay. Sticky prompt. This icon. Okay, the prompts library. Now, of course, this is one of the problems here is that I saw something once for dealing with these models, and now I've completely lost it. Oh, this is where, okay. Installed models. But I don't have a way of pointing to another Ollama. Service, uninstall service. Not sure why I want to do that, but let's see what happens there. No, I don't want to do that. Update service. Anything in here? Chat folder. Well, yeah, this is the. I guess the frustrating thing about any new piece of software. You're not familiar with it. And I don't see any way to add a model from Hugging Face. That oh, this model from Hugging Face. Oh, that's nice. And so, find models by name. Let's just do a code something. Find code llama. See, let me choose a relatively small one. Use this. So you need to come up with a template. I wonder if. So one of the things that's added in the latest version of Ollama is when creating a model, if it's based on one of the main model types, it will automatically inject a template, even if you don't know the template. So let's see if that does that here. Oh, provide a valid model name. What do you mean? I thought I did. Hold on. Let's. Okay, so use this. Oh, I need to provide my name. Mats Q. Great. So now it's downloading the model. It'd be interesting to see if we get a template installed, even though we didn't specify one. Let's see what else. Is there any nice tool for lawyer? Lawyer? I don't know what lawyer is. We'll have metadata stored as a knowledge graph. Okay. So yeah, this is sorry, from 10 minutes ago. It's an app that's connected to Obsidian. I just pointed it at my Obsidian Vault, and that is the RAG database it's using, or RAG source, the source of all the RAGs. it's taking all the Markdown documents and shoving it into its vector database and searching that based on any request I have, which is pretty cool. I guess you're here to say. Uh, yeah, yeah, I know. So, what question? I'm trying to be on point with the title and not getting distracted by the chat is both good and bad at the same time. Yeah, I totally get that. I've seen some streamers that will just say for the ones that they're gonna just stick to the questions. Those are the Q&A streams. Um, and every time I've done one of these before, I have set a topic and then just ignored the topic and just stuck with the questions and answers. I don't know what the right answer is. Um, Off topic, I saw a recent airboat crash into a tour boat today. Airboat is more air submarine. Wait, where did you see this? Because I remember seeing airboats. I mean, are airboats the same thing? Or is this what I'm thinking of? The airboat where it's like this, a big flat bottom boat with a few seats, kind of on almost like on a little bit on stilts, with this massive fan behind you pushing you along, and all I mean that's the way all of them are in the Everglades in Florida where I grew up. I grew up on an island off the coast of Miami. So I know about airboats, or at least those airboats. Or is there a different type of airboat you're on the news? Hmm, cool. I mean, sad, but interesting. Yeah. New OpenAI compatible providers. This makes it possible to use endpoints from Ollama Remote. Um, Misty have web search or summarize a page or site and save as markdown and direct in Obsidian. No, I don't think it does anything with searching online. I don't think there was a way of adding a knowledge stack that points to, you can point to a YouTube link, but not to do an online search. They just added the RAG stuff this last version. Oh, an airplane taking off in the water. So like, what have I called? What I've seen calling a seaplane rather than an airboat, a seaplane. uh, ooh, but I rode in a seaplane 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, over the glaciers in Alaska, near Juneau, Alaska. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Amazing. But yeah, when those seaplanes have accidents, there's usually not much left. So it's amazing that people survived, because often seaplanes, when they crash, they're crashing into water, and water, when you hit it at the wrong angle, is really really hard, and often there was one not near, well, somewhat near where I live. One island, I think one or two islands down. It might have been on Whidbey or Vashon Island, and the plane went down, hit the water pretty hard, and they never found any pieces of either the plane or anyone in it. People saw it go down, and then it was just gone, just disappeared. Um, yeah, I prefer Obsidian as well. I liked. Is this so? Is this connected to Obsidian via an API? No, it's just you. it sees. I assume it's seeing where your Obsidian install is pointed to for its main vault, and so it's probably using. There might be some API it's using there, but then it's just Markdown files, and so it just says, okay, I'll import all those Markdown files that are in this location because that's all a vault is a folder with a whole bunch of Markdown files. Dictating it into the conversation. 3:45 a.m. Thank you, Shivax. I'm probably 8 minutes after you left. Yeah, that's a good question. Will it include any notes? I don't think so. But let's open up Obsidian. Let's create a new note, and I'll call it Space Aliens. A space alien named Fred ate my condo and barfed up a lung. Okay, so very important stuff there. And now if I say use that knowledge stack, what can you tell me about space aliens? So it did not use any of my recent documents. So do I go into here, Obsidian, move, delete? No. I need to be able to update. I guess I just have to compose again. What's this thing over here? Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's pretty. That's a nice little analytics report. That's pretty cool. But let's oh, but I set that to sentence. Hold on, let's discard. Where changes? Why did that change to do that and compose? I don't have a way of, oh, I can get rid of the whole thing. So I guess it's doing the whole thing again. Yeah, that's not very good. That it did not see that there was any changes, and so it doesn't update. And when it does update, you have to re-add everything. My dog's going nuts. Wait at the front door. Is that the front door? Oh, there is a UPS truck outside. I wonder what that is. Happened in Vancouver 2 days ago. Okay. Vancouver seaplane. Hmm. Yeah, I I mean, it's a really neat idea as long as your Obsidian vaults are static and you're not adding a lot of stuff. But that's kind of like the whole point of Obsidian vaults is that you're going to be adding a lot. So I kind of wish it had some sort of recognition. Oh, there's new stuff here. Let me update. And maybe there is, but I didn't see anything like that. Um, um, so now if I ask about space aliens, tell me about space aliens. I told you before, I don't know. Um, that is it does not like to it doesn't fight it. How well does this work with Notion? How well does this work with Notion? I don't think it knows anything about Notion. I didn't see anything about Notion, and Notion doesn't store information um, in plain files. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I guess if your Vault has lots of different topics and you've organized it so that all the stuff in one folder is about one topic, then that would make sense to specify a folder inside your Vault to be the endpoint. Um, that add drop files, does it add to Obsidian? Oh, tell me more. What did you see? Add drop files, does it add to Obsidian? Um, I wish these things had tooltips that would. Oh, citations. Okay. What's this? Okay, that lets me edit. This lets me copy. Okay, it just copies the text. This is probably going to redo it. Okay. Last question. Don't say last question. There's always going to be another question after your last question. What is the demo here? I'm not demoing. I'm just trying to figure out what is Misty like, and you're all along for the ride. Go back a screen. Oh man, don't tell me that because I don't know what my previous screen was. I can hear? No. Oh, back there in the knowledge this thing. Say okay. Okay. What was the question now? That add drop files. Oh, drag and drop. Does this add it to Obsidian? That's the question. Add new knowledge stack. So I can point to something else. This is just, I'm adding additional documents to the knowledge stack, not, and the knowledge stack includes Obsidian work, and it can also include other things, but it's not going to add whatever you add to Obsidian. Drag and drop files. Yes. So if I do a search for a PDF on this Mac, find a PDF that I actually want to share, uncensored. Attention is all you need. Okay. If I drag and drop that, to there, it will add that to the knowledge stack. Do I have to press compose again? What is attention? Citations is pulled it from the main vault rather than anything in that paper. And so I have to go back into here. It has not saved that attention is all you need by PDF. So I need to drag and drop this in and then compose in order to get that to be saved. But now it's having to reindex everything, which is a bit of a pain. Add files to the database, not to the original folder your markdown files are located in. Yeah. And there's no way to, if you're asking questions from your Obsidian Vault, there's no way to take that answer and put it back in anywhere. But then again, it would have to be an Obsidian plugin to get that kind of feature. I am not. Early on in Ollama's timeframe, I wrote a blog post about here's how I would write a plugin for Obsidian that uses Ollama. And I think there was one guy that saw that and just made the plugin, pretty much taking what I said, here's a good start, and hasn't touched that plugin ever since. And it's one of the only ones that really does an integration with Ollama. And I think I'm gonna have to just give in and write the plugin that I meant to write all that time ago. And I should have just written. I use the tool to begin with to be able to find stuff. Archives isn't legit a black hole where things go to die. So let's see, was there anything else that I missed in this? So parallel chatting with models. Real-time parallel chatting with models. I wonder what that means. Because it definitely was not doing the real-time parallel chatting with models. Let's try this. Let me restart Ollama. Go into .ollama logs. Tail. Actually, that's server. Log. And I should see. Wait, 610. Yep. Okay, so it has max loaded models is set to 2, and num parallel is set to 1. Okay. Oh, here it is. Num parallel is set to 3, and max loaded models is set to 2. So that should, when I did the split chat, this is phi, and this one I'll set to Ollama 3. And if I do what is a black hole, in array needs, no idea what that meant. But I'm definitely not seeing parallel, not seeing it run multiple models at the same time. Now that said, oh, maybe I just didn't scroll down. Okay, so it's in sync. Why is the sky blue? So it's definitely not doing that. I wonder if there's something else I'm missing. Let's change this to phi 3 as well. But this one is going to use the knowledge stack. That one is not. It's still not responding. Okay, let's just start over. Create a new chat. New single split chat. I'll split that. Use one using the knowledge stack. And now what is Kubernetes? So this one is using the knowledge stack and this one is not. Oh, it's turning out a lot of stuff. But my notes about my notes go into a little bit of this detail. So that's definitely pulling it in from my notes. And this is just pulling in from what people know about Kubernetes. So the multiple prompts at the same time is working from the same model. Maybe I just have something configured wrong to look at multiple models. There should be enough memory. I don't think I've got anything going on. So, and they're both small models. That's weird. Although it's using 91% of the GPU. GPU load is pretty high. I don't know. This Gemini models improve markdown table styles. Okay. Improve audio recorder. Streaming, scrolling. Okay, yeah. One thing that I notice a lot of these tools when it can it combine the two? That'd be pretty cool. I don't see an option for coming back together. I wish you could tell what these things are for. That just splits out a new one. But yeah, that would be really neat. Oh, okay. I'm going to close this one. Chat. I don't know what that is. Flatten. Sure. No. I want that one to go away. Hide. Okay. So now, one of these options was delete split. Okay, that deletes the split, but if I flatten chat. Okay, flatten. Chat is already flattened. Try it over here. Flatten chat. I don't know what flatten chat means. Already flattened. Bummer. Yeah, it'd be neat to be able to bring these things together. Can you use voice models like Whisper? Not here. But I use another tool, which is amazing, called, let's go to Obsidian, just to, and that space alien, he was so high because of the mushrooms that he ate that he found on this crazy planet called Earth. And the mushrooms were red in color. He found them on a trail while following Matt's 5-year-old daughter, Stella, down the path. And then it turned out none of it was real. It was all on green screen. And the space alien was very sad. Okay, there we go. So that is a tool I use for, I don't usually do anything quite as insane as that. But that I'd say did a really good job of doing the speech to text. So what I use is, here it is, Super Whisper. Oh, I want to bring that up again. Oh, there it is. Settings. So this is a tool called Super Whisper. It's amazing. But it has, I'm using the Ultra, I think, Ultra model. Yeah. I'm using the Pro English model. And it just does an amazing job of doing that speech to text. This is Mac only. But I'm sure there's similar things for other platforms. Super Whisper. And pretty much all the scripts that I write, I do the first draft using Super Whisper, and it's just so much faster using this versus just typing. At first, I was thinking, oh well, I'm not. It's kind of a fun toy, but I'm not really going to. It's not really going to help that much. But oh my god, it is. It helps so much. And if so I get that through SetApp. So I subscribe to SetApp, which is really useful. There's a lot of things I need for a specific use case, a specific goal or project I'm working on, and I find an app that will help me. And so Super Whisper is one of the more recent additions on here. I think it's sold with AI Plus. Yeah, Super Whisper. Amazing. But it spells in American. Well, let's see about that. Language is in English. Oh, it's it does not differentiate US English from UK, Australian, or anything like that. That's interesting. Wow, that's really weird. I did not expect that. AI models. Yeah. Maybe if I just need to go in and when I say aluminum, I actually want you to spell out aluminium. Yeah, I don't see any options for. Well, I guess you need to go and write your own tool. The other one I've used that I have on here is Mac Whisper, and what this is really useful for. Let's see. Does this have there is a setting in here. Recording. I don't see anything here to say which language. Hmm. What I do like about Mac Whisper is that I can't find um, anything about which model I chose. Must be somewhere else. But if I do a recording, I do a recording for a video, and then oh, this was when I was doing a lot of shorts. So if you watch a short, there's often like the as the person's saying something, you see the subtitles, and it's usually like in a bright yellow or other color below the at the bottom of the screen. And so I was doing that originally by typing out every word I said, or actually I would take the original script and just copy paste, and that would work. But then started using Super Whisper, and it would take the recording and then generate the text. But then when you output the text, it outputs it as a SRT subtitle file. And then I could bring, then there was there on GitHub, I found an SRT to titles converter for Final Cut Pro, which is what I use. And that then I could just, I think I actually have a script that will launch Mac Whisper, spit out the right file, automatically run that transcription to SRT, or no, SRT to titles, and then open it up in Final Cut. And then I could just copy all the titles and paste it onto the actual project. Faster Whisper. There's also Whisper X. Okay, cool. Yeah, so there are a lot of these tools, and so many of them are. There's a lot of free ones out there. What I noticed with a lot of the free ones, especially some of the ones that were in, I think um, Misty has one. Oh, this is just a recording. No, I don't want this. I saw somewhere else. Maybe it was Anything LLM had one that automatically does the speech to text, but it uses only the small model, and there's no way to change from small to large. And one thing I really liked about this tool was it allowed me to choose which model I want to use. And the fast ones are fast, but they often forget about all punctuation. And the model I've chosen, this Pro English, gets punctuation right, which is amazing. Oh, you got the chat late. It was amazing. No, I don't know. Yeah, so I was just playing around with Misty because I wanted to see if there was anything new. There's definitely some new things. They, I, I want it to be better. The big new thing is the RAG for pointing to a Obsidian database or Obsidian vault, but that's got problems. And then, did we figure out a way to get to a different, no, I didn't find any way to get to a remote Ollama instance. Maybe there's something on their website. Resources? Change log, yeah. Blog? Audio transcription? Oh, it's using OpenAI. That's like, I mean, so Whisper is there's a hosted version. You're using the OpenAI API, but then there's also one that just runs purely locally. And so that's what Super Whisper is using. It's just using the OpenAI Whisper stuff locally, which is really nice. All right. So not what I'm seeing there. Prompts library. Okay, I don't see any information about how to point to how to point to an external Ollama instance. Wonder. Hey, it's me. I didn't really say they could use that, but that's fine. Whatever. Um, hmm. Yeah, I don't see any way to set the um, location of Ollama. And I assume this is using Electron or what's the other one? The Rust-based one. Hmm. What else? What else we got to talk about? I think I'm done with Misty. I guess I should take a look at anything. Anything different in anything. How do I? Yeah, this is another one that's they've got these cryptic icons. Um, like this one here. I assume it's saying. Oh, can you even see what I'm looking at? Yeah, it from the way I look at that is like give hand over drugs. I think it's actually donate money or okay, yeah, it's donate money. Though it looks like those are pills to me. I'm thinking those are pills. Um, and I don't see a way to update. Is there an update? Okay. So anything version 1.5.5 versus what I have, which is about one. Okay, so I do have the latest one. Okay, maybe they haven't changed anything. No releases listed. Okay, how do I know if there's any change log or anything? Documentation. Change log. 154. I don't know when 154 was. Okay, was it on May 29th? No, that's the other one. So open WebUI. The thing I really is frustrated by with this open WebUI is the fact that they've got this prompt library and model library, which doesn't look like people actually use. It's just confusing. A lot of these models haven't. I mean, they're all the models that I guess they created at the beginning, which are mostly examples from the Ollama repo, and it doesn't really seem to offer any value. It's really weird. I don't know what the point. It's weird that they would put this on the Open Web UI page when it feels like it's just a completely different project. And so the fact that they start with that is just super confusing. But then there's this pipelines thing. I haven't looked at this much. OpenAI compatible plugin framework. Is there a dog on the other side of this? Jake? Oh no. Stella asleep? Is Stella asleep? Oh, okay. Oh, when am I going? Okay. Okay, that's right. All right. Documentation is a better starting point for anything or for oh yeah, for this. Okay. Um hmm. Let me learn about pipelines. Okay, page under construction. Great. LM is more customizable. LM what? Tell me what you mean by that. Okay, let's see. Docker. My Docker. I thought I started it. Maybe it's already running. Oh, it's already running. Go to the dashboard. Do I have? Oh, it looks like I don't have Open WebUI installed. Okay, so quick start with Docker. Good. Just passing by, what do you mean by I feel that LM is way more customizable? Is there a way to change Docker's starting container? Right now I remove them all and start with the one I want to start first. Remove them all, start with the one I want to start first, then reinstall the others. So the way to control which Docker containers start first, you probably want to go through Docker Compose. And in Docker Compose, you can have dependencies. Each one container has a dependency on a different container, so that needs to start first. And so you're usually going to want to go through Docker Compose. Often I'll use something like Portainer to deal with that. And in fact, you could come into Portainer. So this is an extension that I've added. It's on in the extension library. LM Studio, way more customizable than what? LM Studio is garbage. I mean, it's an interesting place to start, but it is so frustrating that you to get the same models and it's always slower in LM Studio every single time, and it's confusing. I started to do a video. I was thinking, okay, well, I should, now that I'm no longer at Ollama, I should do a video about Ollama versus LM Studio. Now that I don't have to, kind of push towards Ollama being better, but I couldn't. It was hard to say anything positive about LM Studio. It's slower, far harder to get started with because there's just so much there, and it's there's so much more you need to configure just to do anything. And so I find LM Studio extremely frustrating, and so I'm not a fan. But and I'm pretty sure that's not just because I was working on Ollama. It's just frustrating, which is why I said earlier that LM Studio's existence probably helped Ollama to show up, because it's so, they obviously spent a lot of effort into making a UI, and yet they haven't really improved on the functionality so much. And considering how much time they've been working on it, it still has a lot of the same issues that it's had for 8 months. And yeah, LM Studios shows how much RAM a model will take. So does Ollama. It says that in a lot of the and once you know roughly how big, I mean, all the models are basically take about the same amount of space or amount of RAM, and so I don't know about that being a benefit. Just started using it, but I like that I don't have to change Windows to change any settings or even my system prompt. I assume that's Ollama, because you don't need to change anything to change your system prompt in Ollama. I have a simple pipeline that takes a MySQL query, fetches the data, formats it as a markdown table, and gives a short analysis of the query and results. Okay. Something you don't have in Ollama. Okay, yeah, okay. Can it use tools? Can what use tools? I mainly use command prompt with Ollama, just opened with a keyboard shortcut. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's all these UIs try to achieve a lot of the same functionality that you get in the command line. And it's, I haven't, for, there's very few things that have come along that um, uh, can beat out the command line for power and performance. So yeah, tend to stick with the command line usability. Okay, often open LM Studio to see RAM consumption. Just check if it'll fit on my graphic card. I mean, it's there's the 7 billion parameter model will you and most of those, I think LM Studio is relying on the blokes estimates, which were always rough estimates, which are the same estimates that you have in Ollama um, in the documentation. So 7 billion takes roughly 8 gigs. 13 billion takes you'll be fine if you have 16. The 30 something billion parameter models, you'll be fine if you have 32. And the 70 billion, you'll be fine if you have 64. All that is just the standard estimates from one template that the bloke used for all of his quantizations. And so LM Studio is not doing anything special there, but that's fine. What should I try then? I just downloaded it. I didn't like anything. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. I'd say, I mean, just use it. I mean, the command line is definitely the most powerful of the UIs that I have seen so far. And one thing that I wish was a little bit easier was just being able to select which model I want to load. And that's where Ollama, which was the topic of my last video, really shines. One thing that's still a little bit lacking, CPU RAM. Around copy paste, but most of that's going to be piping that to PB copy, and now you've copied. PB copy or PB paste? PB copy. Can LM Studio load multiple models at the same time? I believe so. I think they might have even had it before Ollama. Fabric. Yeah, I know. We keep talking. Yes. I should take a look at Fabric to see if it's as lame as Crew AI or AutoGen. I don't think it's. I only briefly looked at it. It does not seem to have the same problems as many of the other frameworks, but I need to take a look. Well, I am being told I need to go to my mother's house because that's where our daughter is. She always goes to my mother's place for after school, goes to play, and then we have dinner there Monday evening. So that's coming up pretty soon. I should go take a look. Want Fabric, couldn't get it working on Windows. Interesting. It's amazing. So that's the prompts is what the author created Fabric for. It was just a collection of good prompts, which is great. Yeah, that's with a lot of these agent frameworks, they seem to be really good at using the ChatGPT API, but not great with local LLMs. So you give up all the reasons why you want to use a local LLM. You're around privacy, security. You're giving up a lot of that in order to use. It depends on what you're doing. Sometimes that's okay, and sometimes that's not okay. And that's why a lot of companies say don't use ChatGPT or don't use whatever other hosted service there is. Oh. I mean, I definitely noticed with Crew, the ones that were using ChatGPT performed a lot better. But a lot of that is also because a Crew is just doing a Crew and AutoGen, all these agent frameworks are just doing so much stupid stuff that is just super slow. And so it's fine when ChatGPT is just fast because there's they're a great service, but there's a huge difference, unfortunately, a huge and amount of time required to output, and then it also, I don't know if they all use like function calling the right way. With it feels like they're doing it um, with the kind of OpenAI way of doing function calling rather than. I just did not. Every time I tried using it, I either ran into problems with getting it to run, or when it would run, it was slow. Um, and there's just faster ways of doing it. But that's why I say get rid of all the Crew and other frameworks. Just do it straight with the Ollama API. But anyway, I gotta go. No, it's not. Function calling on local models works perfectly. Perfectly. What do you mean by is a mess? Oh yeah, line graph is not so good. But function calling, just using Ollama, um, using the Ollama straight with the Ollama API, perfect every single time, reliable results. When you compare the results, you'll see that it does run with Ollama. Compare the results, you'll see the difference. A tool decorator is bugged and I'm going mad. I don't know what that means. Oh, is that a person? That tool decorator. I don't know. Yeah, there's a few threads in like the help section on the Discord where people say, "Wow, how do I get reliable output from any of the from Ollama?" It's like super easy. Oh, Python decorator. Okay, I don't know what. I'm not sure what Python decorator you're talking about, but super easy to get. You just say function JSON output as JSON and maybe give the schema that you want to output, and it's man, it's fantastic. Which is all that function calling is. Okay, well, I gotta go. I gotta go see my mother's house. Thank you. Thank you for being here. It's always fun. Um, and yeah, I should probably do another one. I need to get another video out. I need to. I was going to uh, do an update version of what's new in Misty, because there are a few things we kind of fumbled around with a few things, but I'll ping the authors of Misty and see if there's something I'm missing with the calling a remote API, remote Ollama, and just kind of go through the list of other features to make sure that I've understand how everything works in Misty, and then put out a updated video because I think the how it works with Obsidian is great. I wish it did a little bit more, but it's great. And yeah, thanks. Alrighty, I'm gonna find the end stream button, and not only that, the two things I got to do: find the end stream button in YouTube Studio and stop the stream on my ATEM Mini, because that's what happened before. I stopped the stream in YouTube, and then, but I didn't stop it on the ATEM, which is kind of pulling in the camera. Sometimes I have a couple cameras, but pulling in the one camera and the desktop into one view, and that's where I stream from. Sometimes I record on there too. but I didn't stop the stream there. So it was kept sending it to the YouTube endpoint. And I guess there's some timeout on the YouTube studio. It says, oh, well, there's a new stream coming to me, so I'm going to start a new stream. And so that's what it did on, what was it, on Friday or Thursday, or pretty recently. And yeah, it was Thursday. And so it started the stream. I had left to go look at a kayak that somebody wanted to give to us. Unfortunately, I have a little too much stored knowledge to fit in that kayak. And I left, and after I left, the stream started, and then I was putting Sella to bed, and I got a text message from somebody saying, you know, you're streaming right now. Like, that was 2 hours and 45 minutes of stream without me. People were still there. Craziness. Anyway, gotta go. Thanks so much for being here. Have a great day. Bye.